Hello. So this is the part 2 of our first series that was started. Now I'm just going to show you how to reconnect the connection. So the previous HTTP server that we made, we're just going to be modifying it, actually upgrading it. So in our previous server, once we've made the connection, we just lose the connection from the server. We don't actually lose the connection, but the server itself closes. So we're going to be fixing that. Um, right here. So let's just get started. Now I'm just going to go through it from the start, but the people that have watched my previous video should already know what's happening here. So I don't really think I have to explain it, but I'll do it anyways. So host is equal to whatever your local host is. You can just give it this thing. You don't really need to set it to anything else. You can though. Uh, Obviously not www.google.com, but something that is available on your local host. So now that we've done this, you already know what's up. With the socket.socket function as our server sock, we can just set the sock opt to socket. So we're basically telling the server to reuse this already made sockets and reuse the address that is already made, so that it doesn't create new sockets, which is actually reducing the usage. So it's actually kind of optimized, you can say. Now all this code was written in the previous video, so if you watched the previous video, then you should know what's happening. Then we're just gonna be binding it, of course, and it uses the double brackets. I gave the reasons on why it uses the double brackets in the previous video, so if you haven't watched that, just go give it a watch. It's like 3 minutes or something, I don't really know. Then we're gonna listen on the server. Right here you can say what Genie says, debugging server.listen self and a num. Right, so let's just print that it's listening. So listening on host and port. That's what we're gonna do. So alright, let me just go through it, I guess. With the socket.socket function as a server sock, we set the socket.socket functions. We set the sock up to reuse the sockets and reuse the address to on. Basically says on. And server-sock.bind, we're basically binding it to the host and port that we added, and we're just making it listen. That's all it's doing. That's done. Now basically, let me just write the code from my previous video. So that was not actually what we're gonna be doing here today, but I'm pretty sure. Right, client sock. Server sock dot accept, and print that we've got a connection. So connection accepted from client address. Okay, so basically this was the code in the previous video. I'm pretty sure I might have had something else, but no, I'm sure this is the code. So now in this code, once the client has connected to the server will shut down. That is not what we want. So we're just going to create a simple while through loop, and just tap the code out, and that will literally, we're just changing one line, and we're making an entire part 2 video of it. So if it's boring, I'm sorry, but here's how it's gonna work. We can just run the server now. So as you can see, the same thing from the previous video, listening on localhost port 8080. And then let's go to our localhost port 8080, and as you can see, it had made a connection. It says connection accepted from 127.0.0.1, and that is just steady. And if we do this again, we should be able to If you do this again, it's gonna accept it again. If you do it again, it's gonna accept it again. It's gonna keep accepting the connections till and on. We just keep going on. It's gonna be accepting the connections. That's what it's gonna do. Look, we can just rerun the server, give it a connection accepted, break the connection, reconnect the connection accepted. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. That was it for today's video. Hopefully you learned something from it. I know it's a really a little change, but it's a big step, I guess. In the next video, we're going to be continuing this exact same server, and I'm actually going to be showing you a really interesting part of Python programming. So stick around for the next tutorial. See ya.